reason we were doing this one today is we get a lot of questions about SEO. And I give away a lot of information. And sometimes as I'm giving stuff away, people ask me, does this stuff really work? And, and so, case in point, I was working with a client of mine, and we did these exact 3 tweaks that I'm getting ready to show you to this person's website, and she instantly got a boost. She was on page 2 and jumped onto page 1 just like that, just from these 3 things. Okay, so that's the reason I wanted to jump on these, because they're pretty powerful. Maybe you already have them done, maybe you don't, and I'm going to guess you probably don't since you're here. But let's jump into it. I want to respect your time and make sure we get you back to what to your business or what you're doing in a good timely fashion. So today we're going to cover page titles, image optimization, and headings that matter. So the page titles. What is a page title? The page title is also known as a title tag, okay? But it's just a super condensed short description of what your web page is. It's like a condensed summarization of what it is. So it appears at the top of the browser window. It's a clickable headline in search results. So when people are doing a searching and they find you or you happen to be on that page, it's the actual clickable headline for a search result. And I wanted to emphasize that because we're going to get into that. And it's really easy for me to rattle these 5 lines off and you're like, okay, whatever. But you really need to pay attention to this. It's the clickable headline for a search result, okay? And then it's crucial for both search engine ranking and the user experience, okay? So page titles. An optimized page title should accurately describe the content of the page using relevant keywords, ideally placed near the beginning of the title, and should be compelling enough to attract clicks from search engine users, drive traffic to your website, right? So if this one thing is driving traffic to your website, that's probably pretty important, right? Maybe you need to put a little time, a little methodical reasoning, maybe some research, maybe look at our competitors, and then look at ours and go, maybe I should make a tweak here, right? Maybe I can make it better than what it is. And when I say better than what it is, we're talking about the user experience and what they're finding and does it resonate with their search, but also the bots from search engines that scrape all the websites and go and scan your pages, and they see those page titles. It's like the first indicator to the bots that go, hey, this is what this page is about, right? Among other things, but that's one of the first things. So why is the title tag important? Because Google prioritizes relevancy, aka a semantic search above all else, what it actually means, okay? Unique title tags drive user engagement, and title tags can show niche expertise. Now, I'm going to zoom in here just a little bit. When we do a search on our phone, these are the title tags. Those big, we all see them when we do a search and the search engine results. That's what we read. These are the title tags. It's a huge deal. That's what everybody reads. That's what we make our judgments on. It's what we decide we're going to click on to learn more information and ultimately make a phone call or send an email, shoot a text, whatever it is. You go, that's what I want. I want to reach out to this guy. But it's the title tag that grabbed you. So why aren't we putting in the time to make sure it's optimized, right? So that's kind of what this is about. And as another example, the first one I showed you was on mobile, okay? But even on desktop, if I do a search for plumber near me, this is how we read them. They're the title tags. Okay, so let's get into that. The different titles for every page. Use different titles for every page. So as we're talking about title tags and we're talking about all our website having multiple pages, we need to use different titles, not the same one every time. It's not a global setting, right, for your entire website. So use a unique title for every title tag you create, one that shows value of your content to both search engines and users. SEO good practices suggest that each piece of content you create should be different. Your title tag should reflect the unique information you describe on each page. So each page does get a different and unique title for the content that's on that page. The length, this is the biggest question, is, well, how many characters? How long should I make it? This is the answer: between 50 and 60 characters. After that, it kind of truncates. So really, you want to put your best info in the first 50 to 60 characters. But just so you know, when you write the title tag, there is no strict title tag character limit. Okay, it's kind of double-edged, right? But you want to, the most important info right here, 50 to 60 characters. So I went out and did some searches, and trust me, it did not take me long to get an example of a bad title tag. If you happen to be Mohawk Flooring and you're on this call, because I used a lot of local stuff, I'm not picking on you. And if you need help with this, hit me up. I'm happy to jump on a call with you. But basically, the problem is this. This is a WordPress website, and I can tell because the default name of the page is home. Everybody's homepage is named home. But the problem is people forget, or they just don't know, you can update the title tag and get rid of home. Nobody wants, home does us no good. If I'm searching for flooring and I see home, I'm like, what? Of course I want flooring at my home. It's kind of ambiguous, right? But people that build websites know the instant they see it, they're like, nobody updated the title tag. So what's an example of a good title tag? It doesn't say home. Flooring products, Denver Carpet and Flooring, Denver, Colorado. The Carpet Exchange, Carpet and Floor Store, Denver, Colorado. So what we're doing is we're talking about the product that we sell, the most important thing in our business, what makes us money, what keeps the lights on, what pays the employees, flooring products or carpet, okay? And then we use the geo area that we serve, okay? Denver Carpet and Flooring. Now we've used the word flooring twice. So, but it's done properly and within context. And then again, we hit Denver, Colorado again to nail down the second time the geolocation of my business. So I want to be found for flooring and I want to be found in Denver. Okay. And then, of course, my description below that, which isn't part of this example, but every one of these, every search that you see will have letters that matched the search and are relevant. So in this case, Denver Carpet Flooring, okay? And then down here, carpet, flooring, floors, Denver. So you do want your description when you get into this stuff to coincide and corroborate your keywords that you're using in the title tag, okay? Hopefully this makes sense. But we're gonna go ahead and jump onto image optimization. So the title tag is the first thing. We need to jump on that, get that fixed. Easy way, if you don't know, I'm like, Rob, I just don't know what to put on there. It's simple. Go to Google, do a search for the primary product that you offer, and look at your competitors. Look who's number one on Google. Look at number one, number two, number three, 4, and 5. Trust me, these are going to be done correctly. And that's why they rank that. So go look at what they do. Don't, we don't need to plagiarize, but it should give you an idea and go, oh, I see what they're doing. I know what to do with mine. Okay. Image optimization. So we're going to discover 2 key aspects of image optimization that can significantly impact your SEO efforts and enhance your website's visibility. Because it's easy for us to just throw an image up on our website. Oh yeah, it looks pretty, looks great. I bought these on iStock, or I took these off my phone, or whatever. But there are a couple of things we need to pay attention to, and it does make a difference. Okay, so it's going to involve enhancing the performance and relevance of images on a website for each, for search engines, and we want it to be relevant, right? If you do a search for a plumber in your area and you get a picture of trees with a guy pushing a swing with his kid, I mean, that's great, awesome family, but I'm looking for a plumber right now. I want to see copper pipes and wrenches. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that red pipe wrench turning something on a copper pipe. That, to me, that's what resonates with me. Maybe different for other people. Maybe it's, a broken pipe and it's a disaster and they need help. But once we get the image and the image is perfectly relevant and it matches with and resonates with the search, the person searching, okay, now we have the right image. Once we have the right image, there are other attributes on the back end that we need to optimize. And one of those is called the alt text, which is the alternative text, and it's the text description of the image on the site. So it describes the image for visually impaired users and search engine crawlers. So you can imagine a lot of people get the description and the alt text mixed up. And I'm going to show you in just a second how to see all that and exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to give you the visual so that you're not guessing. What the heck is he talking about? I'm taking notes anyway because I don't want to lose the information, but I am going to show you. Okay. So alt text literally, if I read you the alt text of an image, you should be able to create a visual with your mind, because I'm telling you, it's a gentleman standing or posing for a picture for a headshot, or it's someone mowing the lawn, right? It's very, very concise, not all the extras. And then the description has all the extras. Okay, so we're talking about the alt text because the alt text of all the other attributes on the image, the alt text is what the search engines go to get their information. And then also properly naming image files with descriptive keywords. Now, my whole point here is that if I upload a picture or an image to my website, and maybe I got the right image, it perfectly resonates, with someone looking for a plumber and or whatever it is that you do, and the image is perfect. You absolutely love the image. But the name of the image is 252 underscore exclamation dot JPEG or dot PNG. Like, it doesn't say anything about the image. It doesn't use your keyword. It doesn't use anything. And on the flip side of that, some people do know about this, and then they use the keyword over and over and over. And you don't do that. That's just name it. This is what it is. It's almost like using an alt text, right? So that's why we have these bullet points here that says no keyword spamming. Just use the keyword, or even an ancillary word that is highly relevant, because you don't want to use the same keyword every time. The file name also provides useful information to search engines, right? So that's why that's important. So this is the backside of my WordPress website. And in WordPress, you'll notice that I have the media blue here. I'm going to zoom in for you. Okay, so on the backside of my WordPress, there's the dashboard, the posts, and then the media. The media has all of the images that you uploaded to your website. Okay, so this is what you want to click on to see all the images, because now we're going to go and click on an image and see what those attributes are. Okay, so if you're following me, I'm clicking on this guy right here. Okay, then it's going to show me the picture, and it's going to give me the alternative text. Here's where that alt text goes we were talking about. Okay, here's where that description goes. And then down here, of course, it wouldn't allow me to capture it, but down here is going to be the actual name of the original image. Okay, so use video for story on website. That doesn't, we're talking about a guy that's a blogger, so maybe it should say the word blog, uh, blogger on live event or something like that. It should be the name. And then we would talk about your alt text should be able to describe it to a bot or to a person with their eyes closed, and they get the visual. Okay, a male blogger sitting behind a camera on a live event, right? And then your description could say a young male blogger uh, giving his daily blogging event to his users. However descriptive you want to be, but that's how you use these two. But Google really pays attention to this one. A lot of people forget that. So, so really quick, let me just jump back. The image optimization, what we talked about was the alt text, the proper name, and then the description on that image. So everything is right here. The alt text, the file name, and the description. Okay. And the final thing we're going to get into is our headings. Now, headings these are all three of these things that I'm telling you about are super amazing. They may seem simple, and a lot of times they are very simple, but they matter. Okay, the alt text, the description, the name of the image, super. It's a huge deal. The title tag that we talked about, Google pays attention to that stuff. And now we're going to get into the heading, and this is one of the biggest things Google pays attention to. Okay, and it's going to make a difference on how you rank. It's not the end all be all, because when it comes to SEO, it's a matter of getting everything right or enough things right that it puts you in competition with your highest competitors, right? There are a lot of things, and there is no one thing that will explode you to the top. So these are three things that are very, very important in the grand scheme of things. So headings that matter. Understand the importance of using the right words in the correct locations within your headings to make a positive impression on Google search algorithms. Okay, so we're not dealing with a person, we're dealing with an algorithm. What is an algorithm? It's an equation, right? It's a list of things, but it's all done with bots. And at the end of the day, it's basically their equations. So we want to get the things right so we have a high score on the equations. So what is an H1? All H1 or H2 or H3 mean is heading one. And it's as simple as it sounds, and it's indicative of the word. It's the heading of the page, right? It's the heading. So heading one, a lot of people will tell you use H1 for all the important things. That is absolutely wrong. H1 is your number one heading, and you only use H1 one time. You can have multiple H2s, H3s, H4s, H5s. And as you go down those numbers, H1 is the biggest and boldest, and that's why it's the number one heading. H2 is a little smaller, but it's still big and prominent, and so on and so forth. Okay, so they serve as a primary on-page signal to search engines about the topic and structure of a website's content, of that page, okay, that specific page and what's to follow. H1 tags help organize content for both search engines and users. But what you need to remember is when you're writing these H1s, you write for the user first. And then if you have the opportunity to optimize for search engine as well, and it still remains in context, then that's when you do that. Okay. They represent the main heading or topic of a page, making clear what the page is about. It's very simple. We don't need to overcomplicate it, right? So This is just a random search that I did, and this came up, and I thought they did a really good job with their tags. So obviously, exercise, 7 benefits of regular physical activity. That is your H1. That is what this entire page is about. Now your H2s, and believe it or not, this is an H2 as well as this. I actually went to the page, right-clicked, looked at the code, and made sure before I said anything in case anybody sees it. But that one's an H2, that one's an H2, and that one's an H2. So your H1 sets the tone, tells you what it's about, but more importantly, it uses the primary keywords in there: physical activity and exercise. Okay. So, and you can see at the very top, the page is called exercise. So I know that exercise is the primary keyword. Okay. And then as we go in there, they still use it again. Exercise controls weight, exercise combats health conditions and diseases. But that's how they laid it out. And if you're not sure, again, you can always do a search on your primary product or service or whatever it is. Look and see who's number one organically, and look at their H1, H2, H3 tags. They're right there. They're the biggest and boldest. See how they did them. And again, never plagiarize, but it should help you spawn new ideas. You should be able to look at somebody else's stuff and go, oh, okay, that's how he laid it out. And then I can go write my stuff. I know what I'm doing now, right? So you're not plagiarizing by doing that. You're just getting the layout of the land, the lay of the land, and going, oh, okay, that's what I should be doing. And then you use your own content and go through and do that. So we were supposed to cover 3 things. I wanted to throw one more thing in there as a bonus, and it's the primary keyword to your content. Okay. The primary keyword, you have to already know. Like, it's the number one thing. You have to have already done your research, and you have to already know what it is, what makes you the money, what keeps you in business, right? What's your primary keyword? And not by guessing, going, well, I'm a plumber, so I need to be found for plumbing. Well, you're kind of right. Maybe you do need to be found for plumbing, but not the word plumbing. Because if I'm looking for a plumber, I'm not going into Google typing in plumbing. I'm going to type in, I need a plumber near me, emergency plumber, 24-hour plumber. So all of these have different metrics of information that goes along with them. And so I use a tool where I go out and I'll say, plumber near me, Highlands Ranch. How many people are typing that in on a monthly basis? And if if it's 200 people a month, that's a great number. Okay. And it'll tell you how competitive it is. And if it's in the right metrics, then you may want to make that your primary keyword. Maybe it's 24-hour plumber. Maybe it's, any of these other things, but you don't know until you actually go out and get hard data from Google, because people are using Google to do the search. Google has all that information. They give it to you for free. Okay, Google Keyword Planner. That's the freebie. Google Keyword Planner. And you go in and look for yours, and it'll tell you what the numbers are. How many people are searching for that per month? So we need to have that established before any of this stuff is done. Okay, but moving on for the bonus. Okay, because I talked about adding primary keyword to your content. So now we have our primary keyword. We're done the research. We know what the numbers are. We know what to go after, because if the numbers are right, the chances are that we're going to see ROI in no matter what we do, right? And how we go about it. So if you look at, I had circled this. If you look, this is just a company called Bullfrog Plumbing and Drain. You can tell they used plumbers on their website because it's in their description. And then when you go to their page, look at the words: plumber, 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 plumber. It's in the, this was I think the first paragraph on their homepage. And then you see all these little lines right here. Those are everywhere that the word plumber is. Okay, so it's on the page 12 times. Does it have to be 12 times? Why not 30? Why not 40? Would it make it better? The truth is this: even if it was on there only 2 times or 4 times versus 12, it would probably still be as effective. It doesn't have to be there 100 times. What needs to happen is that your title tag is in order, your images are in order, and your H1, H2, H3, H4, H5 heading tags are in order. And then you've sprinkled some that keyword throughout the context or the content of your page. And so the bots come and scan your website page and they're adding all these things up. Yep, there's the title tag. Yep, there's the H1. Yep, and in each one of these, there's this keyword, plumber or plumber in Highlands Ranch or whatever it may be, right? They do all the math for you. They go through and they take the score and give you your grade at the end of the day. Okay. So we just have to get enough things right. Remember, I said there's not one thing that kills it, right? And we just do this one thing, and it's the coveted thing that nobody knows, and we're just going to explode and rank number one. That's not how it works. Google is about delivering the most relevant content, the content that is the best put together and matches best for the search. So that's exactly what you want to put on your page. Write about what it is that you do, explain things, give information. And when you do all the things right, it's going to all come together, synchronize, and you're going to get a great grade and be rewarded for that. So audit your current page titles, optimize your image files, review your heading structure, your keyword research and integration, and monitor and iterate. Follow these steps and come back and watch this replay if you need to, or join my private group. And I literally walk you through this stuff and give you even more videos on exactly how to do these things step by step. And when you do these things, you will notice a difference. You will see your rankings change.